The most
NASA making a
far-flung
historic
man-made
announcement today
object
that
in
the
the universe,
Voyager probe
the Voyager
has entered
1 probe,
interstellar space,
is
that
once
place
again
between the
transmitting
stars.
useful
It's
data
now
to Earth. According to NASA, almost drowned out by the din of background noise, it started out as a whisper, a sequence of pulses detected by Voyager 1's aging instrumentation. However, this was not your typical static. A pattern became apparent when NASA engineers filtered the data using contemporary methods. A wave reverberating from beyond the edge of our solar system, almost melodious. What should have been silence suddenly became an organized sound, a voice from interplanetary space. Experts were taken aback. Was it turbulence in the plasma or something else? A greeting, a message, an indication of cosmic companionship? Machio Kaku and other astrophysicists have referred to it as the most unsettling data that Voyagers has ever encountered. One question now takes center stage as everyone watches. Is this the song of the universe? Or have we simply overheard a discussion intended for ears much more knowledgeable than our own? The shocking revelation. A blip came on Voyager's downlink in a calm NASA control room. The organized, rhythmic signal instead of the typical background noise. It was a pattern with an almost melodic repeat rather than a pop or an unintentional spike. A voice in the deep seemed to have been discovered by Voyager's plasma wave instrument, which was designed to measure the invisible. The data was paused, replayed, and then replayed by the scientists. This broadcast from the boundary of our solar system was not your typical one. Space has been characterized as a quiet vacuum, the ultimate absence of sound, for many years. This incident, however, cast doubt on that myth. There was a voice, signal, in place of emptiness, and it sounded as though the cosmos was humming to itself or speaking. "We never expected something this structured at Voyager's distance," said a NASA flight engineer, hardly able to control his excitement. If this is real, it changes what we think about the silence of the cosmos. AST astrophysicist Michioku put it more bluntly. The initial replies were a mixture of skepticism and astonishment. Was this a natural occurrence, an instrument quirk, or an indication that something else was going on? This wasn't static, so the voice comparison traveled swiftly. The frequency of the transmission fluctuated in patterns, as though a cosmic hand were typing out a message or turning a dial. Even the most logical minds couldn't help but wonder if this was the signature of an unidentified intelligence or a greeting from the stars. Questions came flooding in from all sides. Was this an indication of cosmic company or the product of nature? While theorists from all over the world jumped to offer explanations, NASA hurried to verify the data and calibrate the devices. The mystery was now open to the public, and the hunt for solutions had formally begun. But no one wanted to get ahead of the evidence. It was crucial to comprehend the instruments used before pursuing crazy notions. In reality, how does Voyager hear the noises of space? Its special plasma wave instrument is the first step in the solution. Voyager's plasma wave instrument, or PWS, is a marvel of engineering from the 1970s that continues to operate at the frontier of the known universe. It measures oscillations in plasma, but it does not hear sound the way we do. Tiny variations in charged particles' energy and density as they travel through space. PWS detects the existence, frequency, and intensity of electromagnetic waves as they ripple over this plasma. Essentially, it converts the vibration of space into quantifiable information. The PWS has repeatedly shown its worth inside the solar system. It has monitored shock waves from solar flares traveling outward, recorded the haunting sounds of Saturn's rings, and captured the solar wind as it buffets the magnetic field of planets. Understanding the interaction between charged particles and magnetic fields, which is essential for everything from GPS signals to astronaut protection in orbit, was made possible by these measurements. But there are boundaries. The signals that Voyager records are extremely weak, and the spacecraft is currently over 15 billion miles distant. It is possible for spaceship noise to infiltrate. Its instruments go worse the longer it spends in deep space. It's a marvel the PWS detects anything at all when you consider the waning solar wind at the helipause, the line separating actual interstellar space from the sun's influence. Even now, with the use of specialized computer processing, it is able to record plasma waves and convert inaudible space into sounds. It's as exciting to compare PWS data to what radio telescopes on Earth can hear. PBLWS provides the interstellar medium weather report, while ground telescopes record cosmic static, beacons, and flares, the soft waves, strong storms, and occasionally the cosmic music itself. Since the recent structured signal reached the universe through this remarkable ear, it is imperative that we comprehend this technology. Researchers wanted to list every known natural source that could account for such an organized space voice before drawing any conclusions. What else in the cosmos is capable of producing such signals? Space sounds have no natural sources. Pulsars and magnetars are among the best natural musicians in the cosmos. Extremely powerful magnetic fields in dead stars cause them to pulse radio and X-ray emissions remarkably frequently. Scientists have previously been duped by these cosmic lighthouses. They were formerly thought to be potential alien beacons due to the accuracy of their emissions. Even stronger magnetars can occasionally produce short, sharp bursts that look like fake signals. Then there are the actual plasma waves. The huge sea of chewy dust and charged particles between stars, known as the interstellar medium, is never really still. It is full of energy, and when the solar wind interacts with interstellar shock fronts or local magnetic fields, natural harmonics can be created. Signals that oscillate and whistle may result from these interactions. Occasionally orderly, occasionally disorganized, but always organic. Such tunes have previously been detected in our solar system by Voyager's PWS. For the formation and behavior of these harmonics, scientists have developed theoretical models. Computer simulations demonstrate that sophisticated and seemingly structured signals can be produced in space even in the absence of life. Patterns and rhythms may arise from resonances between charged particles, magnetic field lines, and plasma waves, the song of nature, created solely by physics. However, when NASA experts compared the current Voyager signal to all known databases, doubts remained. It's close to natural, but not a perfect match, explained plasma physicist Darren Hanna-Lee. Given enough time, even random energy in space can form beautiful repeating waves. The universe loves symmetry. The structured regularity, the clarity of the signal, these factors stood out. The search for a mundane cause continued, but the concerns kept growing. Could this be a plasma resonance we've never seen? Or could it be something genuinely new speaking through the silence? If this voice came just after Voyager crossed the helipause, perhaps its unique position between solar influence and the raw interstellar medium played a crucial role. What changes when a probe leaves the sun's doma beyond the helipause? Voyager entered a new world, a place ruled by ancient galactic forces, full of unknowns. The helipause is the invisible line that marks the end of our sun's protective bubble, where the once dominant solar wind finally yields to the vast thin plasma of true interstellar space. The sun's magnetic field shapes signals and plasma waves inside the heliosphere. However, the conditions around its instruments changed abruptly, with the magnetic field lines running in new unexpected directions and the charged particles surrounding the spacecraft becoming colder and denser. This change not only made it possible to detect different types of plasma waves, but it also altered the way signals traveled and interacted with Voyager sensors, causing scientists to realize that after the crossing, subtle modulations or echoes that were impossible within the heliosphere. It's not just about where the sun ends. It's about where our knowledge of the cosmos truly begins. Dr. Alice Bowman, a mission operations lead, explained that Voyager's instruments are now eavesdropping on a region we've never directly heard before, meaning that every signal now has the potential to reveal something fundamentally new. The implications go far beyond technical curiosity. Knowing how plasma and magnetic fields behave at the edge of and beyond the heliosphere gives a unique window into our galaxy's environment. Whenever space offers a mystery, imagination rushes in. With Voyager in such a unique listening post, scientists couldn't help but wonder, could these new conditions allow for entirely new forms of signal, perhaps even communication, deliberate or not, from the galaxy itself? The speculative frontier? Some researchers see electromagnetic signals as a kind of language, a cosmic music that in rare cases could even carry meaning. One bold idea is that advanced civilizations, if they exist, could use electromagnetic waves to. The history of SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, has taught scientists to be skeptical, but to remain open to possibility. Could Voyager's plasma wave voice be more than just the random hum of nature? Michioku suggests that perhaps the universe is humming with information and we are just learning to listen. Of course, interpreting the message of noise is a philosophical problem. Are we hearing what is truly there or projecting meaning onto random data? According to quantum resonance theory, some parts of space may act as natural amplifiers for faint signals, allowing distant communications to travel much farther than expected. A structured voice at the edge of the sun's domain is at least worth considering, if not as confirmation of intelligence, then as a sign that the universe may be richer and more communicative than we ever imagined. However, the regularity and structure in Voyager's most recent signal raise serious questions. Could this be the signature of a cosmic background message or a first faint step towards true interstellar dialogue? Astronomy's archive is full of mysterious transmissions, including the legendary WOW signal of 197, a sharp, unexplained burst that lasted less than a minute and has never been repeated. Fast radio bursts, or FRBs, are now a recognized cosmic phenomenon, with some repeating in unpredictable patterns. Such wonders have been glimpsed before, strange, unexplained signals that linger in the history of astronomy. Voyager's voice joins a list of cosmic enigmas that remain unsolved. Each mystery is a test of our imagination and our caution. Together, these stories demonstrate that the secrets of the universe are rarely simple or obvious, and that each unexplained signal forces scientists to reconsider what's possible and sometimes to build new instruments or invent new theories just to keep up. Even Voyager itself has sent back odd data before, including unexplained magnetic field shifts, faint harmonics, and once a musical tone traced back to a solar storm. Each missed, we cannot afford to ignore the unknown, but we also cannot make hasty assertions. This lengthy list now includes the Voyager structured plasma wave. It serves as a reminder that the universe is constantly posing new problems and testing our conceptions of what is out there, whether they be technical, natural, or something else entirely. These secrets are being revealed more quickly than ever before because to the modern era of technology. Even old data can lead to fresh discoveries with the help of strong AI and global cooperation. The signal is being revealed via advanced technologies. Both contemporary technology and the ship itself are responsible for the reawakening of Voyager's data. Today, machine learning sorts through mounds of historical transmissions to find patterns that were previously missed. In addition to eliminating static, artificial intelligence, AI, computers may detect subtle rhythms and harmonies hidden in background noise, occasionally exposing order when humans only see disorder. Probes like Voyager now collaborate with international telescope arrays like the Square Kilometre Array, SKA, in Australia and South Africa and the FAST Array in China. Researchers boosted their confidence that a discovery is genuine and not the result of a single instrument error by comparing signals from several sources. Re-examination of historical data in recent years has produced new FRB candidates as well as indications of historical anomalies that older algorithms failed to detect. The secret is synergy. Blind spots are eliminated when the same enigma is examined by JWST, Earth-based arrays, and even citizen scientists. According to Dr. Nadia Petrova, astronomy is entering a new era. In a sense, we can travel back in time and re-listen to the universe with improved hearing. These days, machine learning algorithms are crucial resources for looking for the unusual, poised to seize the next significant abnormality. This combination of human curiosity and AI capabilities opens doors to previously unthinkable breakthroughs. whether in real time or deep within historical records. Every computing advancement makes the cosmic riddle a bit more understandable and the inexplicable a little less isolated. But despite all of this enthusiasm, there is still skepticism. Every discovery requires thorough testing, skepticism, and alternate explanations, particularly when the distinction between signal and noise is so blurry. A healthy dose of skepticism is necessary to solve any scientific puzzle. Numerous previous findings have been found to be the result of simple software, cosmic ray interference, or instrument noise errors. Voyager's electronics are susceptible due to its advanced age. Cosmic rays have the ability to destroy circuits, flip bits, and occasionally produce phantom signals that appear eerily real. There have previously been telemetry errors that have occasionally jumbled the data or created seemingly ordered patterns. The perils of pareidolia, our innate propensity to perceive patterns even when none exist, are well known to scientists. Data analyst Dr. Marcus Evans cautions against reading too much into a single, lovely wave. The greatest randomizer in the world is nature. NASA has made cautious remarks stressing that before making any remarkable claims, all conceivable, everyday reasons must be eliminated. Teams are analyzing instrument logs, doing calibration, tests again, and contrasting simulation results with actual data. Science remains grounded, open to curiosity, and shielded from unbridled fantasy thanks to this balanced approach. Every explanation is being pushed, prodded, and retested in this lively and dynamic dialogue. Nobody will consider something genuinely novel until all technological and natural causes have been explored. If the signal turns out to be real, its ramifications might extend well beyond astronomy, appending our presumptions about technology and ourselves. Human and astronomical ramifications. There is more to Voyager's voice than meets the eye. It calls into question our most fundamental conceptions of the cosmos. We thought of space as an unending emptiness for eons. We now know that it may be replete with Mars, rhythms, and pulses, a cosmic symphony that is simply awaiting our ears. Some researchers foresee mapping and understanding these signals as the focus of a new field called cosmic acoustics, astroics, or something similar. Every new oddity broadens SETI's hunt for life. The universe is more dynamic, complicated, and possibly more conducive to life than we previously believed, even if the organized signal is natural. Maybe we may discover a real cosmic choir someday if space is singing. Philosophically speaking, this finding challenges us to reconsider our position in the universe. Are we prepared to listen to the universe in all its beauty and chaos? The journey is just getting started, so what comes next? The challenge now is to listen deeper, to prepare better, and to invite the world to join in the search. The cosmos has always spoken. Maybe we're finally learning how to listen. And for future missions, this is a rallying cry. We need better instruments, smarter AI, and more open minds ready to detect the next wave from the stars. The quest that Voyager sparked is far from over. As the mission continues its lonesome journey into the galaxy with missions like WST, the upcoming Roman telescope, and massive observatories like the Extremely Large Telescope, or ETH. Each new generation of instruments promises a clearer view of the universe's hidden messages. Earth-based arrays, now coordinated globally, stand ready to catch every anomaly, each indication of order in the cosmic chaos. Quantum computing is poised to take signal analysis into realms we can hardly imagine, making sense of data so subtle and complex that today's methods barely beginning to end the surface. Scientists are calling for broader public engagement, inviting citizen scientists, students, and dreamers to sort through massive amounts of data and assist in decoding the next breakthrough. One thing is certain: as scientists examine the data, adjust instruments, and discuss theories, Voyager 1 has once again blurred the boundaries between science and wonder. As new discoveries are made, we are reminded that Voyager's voice might just be the beginning, a first note in a galactic symphony. Are we prepared to listen? Are we brave enough to hear whatever comes next? Because the universe is still speaking, And finally, so are we. Voyager 1 continues its lonesome watch, its antennas tuned to the endless dark, waiting for the next murmuring from the cosmic sea. Whatever the truth, this discovery challenges us to keep listening, keep asking, and never lose our sense of awe at the mystery still hidden in deep space. Perhaps the signal will prove to be a trick of physics, just another beautiful anomaly in a universe full of surprises, but even so, it serves as a reminder that the universe is never truly silent and that our machines sent decades ago as mere explorers are still listening for the unexpected. It was never intended for Voyager 2 to move again. It was launched in 1997, finished its mission, and has been drifting past Neptune ever since. Something small but startling occurred in 2025. Very once, although very slightly, did the probe move. No warning, no malfunction, and no directive were present. Even stranger was what came next. Deep space radar pings, sensor spikes, and a shadow in its route. A swiftly moving object was captured by telescopes. The data revealed that Voyager had shifted course, as if it sensed something, and military logs were sealed. It was not fiction. From the frontier of our solar system, it was actual telemetry. What did Voyager encounter? What caused it to react? More significantly, was something attempting to be observed? One of the most disturbing space incidents in recent memory began as a mere oddity. For decades, Voyager 2 remained silent. However, it only returned a murmur in the shadows. Focus on the shadow of Neptune. For decades, Voyager 2 has remained silent. It drifted into deep space after passing Neptune in 1989, leaving behind the final planet it will ever visit. It sends simple data home for a year, the steady rhythm of a faraway machine. Nothing spectacular. However, an odd incident occurred recently. Voyager 2 changed course without notice or order. A change so slight that most systems wouldn't detect it. It wasn't a glitch. It was deliberate. Voyager's memories of Neptune is continually plagued by its silhouette. Triton's cold geysers, its thin rings, its blue haze. However, Voyager now encountered something far away from that freezing world. The information was obvious. A little change in trajectory. Not a realignment, not a spin, not a system correction. It was best expressed by a JPL engineer. The object moved by itself. The audience feels it as the video plays back. A moment that shouldn't have happened shattered the weight of quiet. Probes are more than just decision makers. Despite not being designed to react, Voyager 2 did. And the issue is that, because it indicates that something was initially told when a spaceship located 15 billion miles distant abruptly alters its route without being instructed to do so. The words emerge on screen. Horizon 2025 event. Deep space warning. A cold snaps in. The narrative that follows is not a repeat of earlier findings. Nobody anticipated that, and it's something novel and nuanced. We must comprehend what Voyager 2 is in order for this riddle to be significant. It wasn't just any spaceship, after all, as it explored every gas giant and had more daring encounters than the last. It carried the dreams of a generation. We must go back before the movement, before the oddity, before the lengthy voyage that made it legendary in order to understand what it just did. The legacy of Voyager 2. The sole purpose of Voyager 2's launch in 1997 was to investigate the outer worlds. It accomplished more than that. It was the only spacecraft to visit Uranus, Neptune, Jupiter, and Saturn, the four gas giants. It passed planetary peculiarities no one had ever seen before, magnetic storms, and ring systems. Every interaction stretched the limits of existing knowledge. In real time, science was writing itself. We saw Triton, a frozen moon that shoots geysers into space, up close for the first time at Neptune thanks to Voyager 2. It showed the planet's strange rotation, the big dark A mechanism that is older than most satellites continues to talk back to Earth from deep space. Launched in 1997, Voyager 1 was never intended to communicate again. Its instruments fade, its cameras off. However, something changed towards the end of 2024. Expected plasma measurements were included in a normal data package. However, the statistics didn't act like noise in the back of mind. The file was flagged by an AI. Then the shock hit. Perfectly spaced prime numbers. Language follows structured waveforms. The pieces were chilly. Echo read, "Watch out. Not orthotic, not random, not natural." Although Voyager was designed to explore, it might have ended up serving as a warning post, a messenger, or a receiver. And now, the same question is being asked by all the scientists who are examining that data. What or who is speaking? Why now? Because it's not finished, whatever it is. Furthermore, Voyager is noisier than we initially believed. The screen is filled with the continuous hum of cold, open Voyager. Layered digital bleeps interspersed with a recognizable plasma wave static. An AI voice then interrupts. This was not intended to be sent by Voyager. It serves as a warning. There is instant tension. You're not merely observing data. You're keeping an eye on an alert. Wave spikes, timestamps, lines of data pulsing across the HUD, and then prime number intervals flashing rhythmically. The image changes to the silhouette of Voyager drifting among stars with its antenna pointed outward. The pattern is significant. It's not random. It's driven. It has a tight tone. We feel a feeling of direction. Did Voyager get anything it wasn't supposed to? Or is it sending this? The teaser flashes on the screen. We're going to investigate something unexpected tonight. It dangles. Unmissable, unattainable, and urgent. This goes beyond science. It is a suspenseful story. And one thing is obvious. Whatever is going on, Voyager is being used in ways that were never intended. A signal is created from what begins as static, and everything feels different after that change. It was not a mission update that came next. It was a mysterious pulse. Patterns started to whisper in a 47-year-old probe that was primarily fueled by decay. Engineers paid attention. AI unlocked. Abruptly, a stray artifact from the early days of space started speaking in prime number rhythms. But for what purpose? The legacy of Voyager was launched in 1977 on top of rockets to investigate the giants. Neptune, Uranus, Jupiter, and Saturn. Its cameras produced recognizable pictures. However, in order to save energy after 1990, those eyes were closed. The shift to twilight started. There would be no more photographs, only equipment measuring waves and heat. Voyager entered interstellar space in 2012 after departing the heliosphere. It has been whispering in the abyss ever since, giving back magnetic measurements and plasma wave data. Scientists anticipated a gradual decline, but Voyager simply continued to speak, and that tenacious voice continued to be surprising and priceless. The irony is that Voyager was not designed with message delivery in mind. Fields are measured using its instruments. It has a chirping radio. Receiving complex signals and relaying them in code were not part of the plan at all. The cameras were turned off. Only rudimentary error handling is autonomous. But abnormalities continue to appear. That's where our narrative starts. Even after its initial mission, an elderly explorer continues to roam, remain active, and communicate. And we pay attention when patterns appear in the data because complexity can be concealed in even the most basic signals. Additionally, repetition of complexity implies intention. Voyager's hum became a heartbeat, not of distance, but of pattern. After 40 years of quiet, something out of the ordinary was detected by JPL's data systems in late 2024. There was a purposeful echo of prime numbers, the spike, and a beat. The following chapter began when it pulsed once more. The oddity of the spike was found. Unusual telemetry that was neither random nor transient was discovered during a regular data sweep of JPL towards the end of 2024. The spike displayed harmonic intervals with prime spacing of 3, 5, and 7 days across an 18-day cycle. It couldn't be cosmic noise, and it repeated and held. First, engineers dismissed it. Interstellar space is a chaotic place. Solar wind echoes, magnetic shocks, and particles. It wasn't noise, but it was organized. Over weeks, they observed the waveform repeating. We weren't witnessing mayhem. We were observing rhythm. The spike recurred, exactly the same. As early 2025 approached, technicians muttered, "This isn't natural." Especially from Voyager's faulty output, harmonics of that precision aren't random. A question began to take shape. Is Voyager being used by someone or something to broadcast signals? AI came into play at that point. Exact prime number. Sequences were detected by our neural net, which was trained on decades worth of radio and wave data. 111131722357. Then pieces started to appear. Plasma bursts woven into words. Be careful. It's code. Who's talking? And who's paying attention? Through a probe constructed in the same age it launched, something ancient and far away just began to communicate, muttering prime numbers. However, it was no longer merely science once those pulses became shards of language. Beware. It turned into an intent issue. Our next task was to determine whether this signal was an invitation or an alert. The anomaly was perplexing when it initially surfaced. But when it happened again, it took on a new, eerie quality. JPL then introduced the AI systems. Not all of these were pattern matchers. Voyager's raw output from decades ago was used to develop these deep learning quantum models. Each gap, pulse, every click, deciphering a message was not the objective. To rule one out was the aim. The AI initially interpreted it as background plasma shifts, or solar wind resonances. Thousands of potential reasons were simulated: memory bleed, instrument feedback, and radiation interference. Not one matched. It then identified alignment in the background noise of the primes that were repeating, frequency modulation with precision at regular intervals. An orderly structure was what appeared to be a vibration. Information. The signal unfolded more as it delved deeper. The AI started clustering segments using a technique similar to natural language inference. It initially looked like digital static, but after time, word-like structures appeared. They are recurrent patterns with limits and grammar, not human words. Over multiple pulses, the most prevalent fragments were repeated. There was complete silence in the JPL control room after one of them decided, "Echo, beware." After 48 hours, the AI flagged it once more. Another heartbeat, more assured this time. A little clearer of the same sequence. The engineers gazed over the results. These strings weren't arbitrary. Meaning was being shaped by them. However, the words alone did not convey the message. The package contained it. Prime interval modulation of harmonic pulses that arrive in patterns too planned to be ignored and too structured to be natural. The narrative then took a dramatic turn. Voyager was no longer merely a relic but a conduit. Before AI removed the static and discovered the whisper within, a data channel had appeared in plain sight and remained undiscovered for decades. What was the signal trying to communicate? Though, if it had a message, the pieces were disturbing, and more were on the way. Fragments that have been decoded. The AI extracted further fragments in a few days. It is unquestionably repeating, albeit still disjointed and jumbled. And take caution. 3 words or word-shaped signals. Researchers were hesitant to label it a message. Linguists were brought in, though, and the more they examined it, the more human it seemed to be. Deliberate, syllabic, and structured. The terminology wasn't what bothered them the most. The tone was the problem. Watch out. There was no question. It wasn't ambiguous. It was an emotionally charged, straightforward directive, the kind of word used when urgency takes precedence over specifics. Whose warning? Vote. What is it about? According to one explanation, the signals were a residue, a sort of echo from outer space that bounced into the abyss, rather than being sent to Earth. It grabbed Voyager like a tuning fork in its path. A more straightforward explanation was that Voyager was being used as a low-band transmitter or had been used for that purpose. Slow deep-wave messaging, not electromagnetic or broadband. The SETI consultants were taken aback. If this is true, and it's a big if, it implies prudence in addition to communication. Something is attempting to tell you not to go ahead and not to ignore this. A few scientists resisted. Perhaps there was a misunderstanding. Perhaps AI had discovered patterns in places where none existed. However, the trends continued to emerge. The words were repeated. Every new transmission strengthened the previous one. This implied that the signal wasn't random, whether you liked it or not. It persisted. It wasn't finished yet, either. They were now reviewing the data in real time. Every fragment is logged. Every pulse is tracked. The lexicon was expanding and something was still communicating through the outdated probe. We were beginning to decipher the code, if it existed. However, it raised the question of whether this was a countdown or a conversation. Expert response. The scientific community fell apart once the word beware was included in the transcript. At the Jet Propulsion Lab and throughout NASA, linguists, physicists, AI theorists, and representatives from space organizations gathered. It was a heated debate. Was this a message, corrupted data, or something else entirely? Linguists found it fascinating. According to one expert, these bits don't correspond with any known language. However, they act like language. They structure, they repeat. It might be poetic in any other situation, but not when it comes from a speechless spacecraft. The more wary, SETI specialists were just as interested. According to one consultant, we search for trends. This design is encased in harmonic spacing, prime numbers, and prime numbers. Earth tech isn't that. Signal architecture is that. However, they cautioned against drawing conclusions. It might be centuries old if it's a message. There must be someone watching if it's in real time. Every system on board was examined by astrophysicists. No variations in power. Zero data misroutes. No signs of instrument bleed. Probably a hardware failure. These weren't being sent by Voyager alone. According to one researcher, this is either the most significant discovery or the most complex false positive in history. We just made contact, but assuming it's genuine. Then there came the warning voices. Some cautioned against excessive decoding. One senior scientist pushed harder, saying, "We should listen, but we shouldn't answer. If this is a warning, then others should pay more attention. Before anything else arrives, we must quickly confirm." Earth was silent for the moment. However, the argument became louder. This was not merely an aberration in science. The conundrum was philosophical in nature. Voyager was being used by something to communicate, something organized, something that could alter our perception of our position in the galaxy if it were properly decrypted. However, we had to question, has this happened before? Before we could comprehend the message. Signal history. Scientists looked to history to gauge the magnitude of what Voyager might be receiving. This was not the first strange sound Earth had heard. Astronomers were astounded by his WOW signal in I-7, Ohio State, an unrepeated narrow and burst that lasted 72 seconds. The suddenness was odd, inexplicable, and uncannily familiar. It came and went, though, unlike the Voyager signal. It was a shout. It was a whisper. Even earlier, in 1974, we targeted the M13 star cluster with the Arecibo message, a radio communication encoded in binary. It featured the numbers 1 through 10, human figures, and the structure of DNA. It was a long shot, more of a gesture than a dialogue. However, it sowed the seed that we had attempted to express. Many questioned whether Voyager's most recent pulse pattern, which resembles language, was a response or a distinct voice. In an effort to demonstrate intelligence, some theorized that the prime numbers encoded in the transmission were a mathematical handshake. This was corroborated by the echo motif in the pieces, which was a reflection and bounce back, not noise, but reaction. Then there came the golden record of Voyager. It was launched with the spaceship and featured music from Bach to Chuck Berry, greetings in 55 languages, and Earth sounds, a time capsule that could be discovered by anybody or anything. However, it seemed possible that we were now getting their equivalent of a time capsule, one of caution rather than culture. The pattern was starting to emerge. We had sent signals into the dark over the decades. The dark may now be responding. Furthermore, the Voyager signal is more than just data if that is the case. History is being written, but scientists look to a more challenging question to figure out what's causing it. Why may this message be being sent? Hypotheses of origin. The next pressing question arose when the signal's veracity could no longer be denied. How and what is transmitting it? Voyager is located far from planetary interference, more than 15 billion kilometers away. The possibilities immediately spread across the intelligence and scientific communities, each one more amazing than the previous. According to one idea, a temporal echo is a message that is warped and redelivered by a cosmic lens after bouncing through spacetime. The signal's harmonic warping structure is similar to a sound looping through spacetime. One physicist described it like shouting into a canyon. However, reality itself is twisted by the canyon. There's also the potential of a defense beacon, an ancient extraterrestrial signal that warns onlookers to stay away from interplanetary caution tape. That theory is supported by the Beware fragment. According to one municipal expert, it might not be for us. Perhaps it's for anyone who approaches too closely. In order to explain the primes and the repetition that is meant to be understandable rather than alarming, a third alternative makes use of navigation, a trail marker, something woven into the fabric of space as a guidepost, and a cosmic "you are here." Others became darker. Is this a communication from an unidentified deep space probe that was created by humans? Who sent it? And why are there so many cautions about it? And lastly, the chilliest recommendation: intelligence from aliens. A purposeful signal that takes over the Voyager system in order to transmit a message. Nor for contact, nor for conflict. Beware is a single, horrifying word. Earth must get ready for the unknown if the source's message cannot be located. What was once marginal became mainstream as agencies mobilized and theories arose. Because you have to pay close attention or you risk missing the most significant warning in human history, the global response. When the universe begins speaking in your language, even if it is only 3 words at a time. The stakes increased in tandem with the signal's believability. NASA was no longer on its own. The identical pulses were intercepted by the European Space Agency, India's ISR, Japan's JAXA, and private observatories worldwide. Even the US Space Force, Russia's Roscosmos, and military networks began looking for repeat signals in deep band telemetry. The secret era was coming to an end. International governments convened emergency summits behind closed doors. The transcripts were leaked. Briefings were full with terms like intelligent origin, non-random structure, and priority confinement. Everyone was aware of its potential meaning, but nobody knew what it actually meant. The leading intelligence services in the world started going through Voyager's whole archive. They were now reanalyzing signals that had been disregarded for decades, in order to determine whether the message was a map, a countdown, or something worse. Supercomputers were instructed to replicate pattern projections. There was silence in public. However, experts cautioned in encrypted scientific forums, "We've opened a channel we can't close." In the meantime, amateur radio astronomers attempted to crowdsource the signal. They established international networks while timing pulses and looking for fresh pieces. The outcomes were terrifying. There was no slowing of the signal. It was becoming stronger, clearer, and more regular. The argument was no longer merely scientific. It was ethical. Should we quarantine the message until we completely comprehend it, or should it be made public? It was stated clearly by one UN official. We no longer have a say in what happens next since we have entered a new era. The world's gaze shifted to the stars. However, the ghost ship of the solar system, Voyager, continued to talk. Then a fresh pulse appeared. The AI has been keeping an eye out for it. The penultimate piece, the subsequent sequence. This time, 4 words. And one last signal that would leave mission control speechless. Cliffhanger in the countdown. Voyager's most recent pulse arrived late one evening. The AI examined it right away. It had been waiting for something to put together. The room was chilled by what it brought back. 4 pulses left was how the text appeared. Then there was quiet. Scientists gazed at the log. 4 pulsations? Was this a series? A batch of transmissions? An event warning? Previously regarded as fringe, the countdown theory could no longer be disregarded. The data then changed. The following signal was sharper and shorter. The intervals of harmonics shrank. Pulse intervals became shorter. Something was not just talking, it was speeding up. Something was approaching with the signal. Finality. The AI provided its analysis. Anticipated transmission next. The length of the final sequence is probably 4. That gave them hours. And eyes looked up as clocks ticked. In awe rather than fear. Because a final narration echoed, marking a moment in human history regardless of whether the final message brought revelation, disaster, or silence. Get ready for the next step. Voyager was built to explore the uncharted. The fact that it turned into a messenger from the unknown caught us off guard. The old spacecraft sent a signal after decades of silence, in addition to telemetry, contained within prime number interval-shaped radio pulses. We couldn't ignore the message it conveyed. Watch out. AI did not create these pieces. They were discovered buried in plain static. With each pass, the signal became more distinct, more purposeful, and more organized. We might never know if it's a countdown, a cosmic echo, or a conscious effort to get in touch with us. However, the communication was genuine. It arrived. We're listening now. The signal itself isn't the most eerie thing. It's the quiet that ensues. A deliberate, poised silence that seems like a breath before something bigger. Our perception of the universe has once again been altered by Voyager, our ancient ambassador driven by disintegrating atoms. By posing the most human query of all, rather than by displaying stars to us. Are we by ourselves? Is there anyone out there attempting to warn us if we're not? Perhaps we were never intended to receive the signal. Or perhaps it was intended for us now. Because Voyager only served to remind us of one thing, regardless of how far it traveled or how much its signal waned. When the cosmos hears, it occasionally responds.